Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In a previous video I made, I talked all about my FX30 Cineback rig. Now, there were some questions afterwards about how do I get audio using something like this? How do I run, whether it's client work or here in the studio, how am I using this and getting good audio? So that's what this video is gonna be about. So without further ado, let's get into it. So most of the time I'm using my A7 IV as my main A camera. This typically is the B camera. It was the A camera before I got the A7 IV. Still a phenomenal camera if you're looking for a really solid, inexpensive camera to use. I would definitely recommend the FX30. I usually use this outside of the studio. My A7 IV stays in the studio due to common known overheating issues. The FX30 is way more reliable in that facet. But for audio, typically in these videos, I have a Sennheiser MKE 600. It's boomed right out of frame right here. So obviously you can't see it. Occasionally I'll have like an SM7B on like a low profile arm if I want to have more of like a podcasty and more like conversation video, but the microphone being boomed out of hand or out of shot, this really helps me keep everything hands-free, cleaner, and I like the sound that comes out of it. Now this mic is really great and I highly recommend it because it, one, runs off of XLR, which most of my audio is being routed into this Rodecaster Duo, and I record all my audio here and I sync it in post afterwards. But the other great thing about this microphone is that it also can be run off of one AA battery and just a 3.5mm cable, which it actually comes with. So it does require phantom power because it is a condenser microphone. That's why you need the AA battery. Of course, you don't need that battery if you have XLR. Now, I don't have the top handle for the FX30, FX3. Both of those cameras have the option to buy one externally. I think they're like $300–400 though. And I already had some of this other audio equipment in my office, so I didn't really see a need for that. However, when I'm running with this rig here, and I'm using my Sennheiser microphone, I just use it with a 3.5mm jack. So when I'm loading it onto the camera, I can either have it boomed out of shot overhead on the talent, or if it's more of an interview style, I can, still boom it overhead. And I just use this in tandem with the Rode Wireless Pro system. So these mics on their own are phenomenal. The lavaliers sound great. You get the 32-bit float is excellent. You don't have to worry really about checking your levels. You can get everything done in post. So if I had this boomed overhead, I'll just simply plug this Sennheiser microphone into one of the transmitters for the Rode Wireless Pros, and the other one is just on my camera, and it's feeding directly right into the camera, and there's no syncing necessary. Now, I do also record separately on the transmitter itself, just to have that redundancy in case anything were to go wrong. I have that extra recording. So that is a really great option to have it wirelessly boomed overhead, but you can also, this microphone is so good that you can even mount it to the camera if you'd like. I don't typically do that because rarely is the talent or the subject right in front of my camera where I need that sort of audio. Most of the time, I just use the internal microphone on the camera as scratch audio. That way I can still kind of monitor things. But I definitely recommend, if you have a setup like this, is the Sennheiser MKE 600 microphone with the Rode Wireless Pros. Now, if you don't have the Rode Wireless Pros, because that plus the microphone itself is, $500–600 total that you're gonna be spending on audio. Again, don't worry, you can still use this directly into your camera. So if you have the 3.5mm jack, you just plug it right into the side of the camera, plug the other end into the microphone, switch it on, and you can just mount it right on top of your camera. So if you want kind of like a more documentary style, look with your rig, you can definitely get just a mount for the camera or for the microphone. It does come with a microphone holder, and that has a cold shoe mount on the bottom of it. So you can just snap this onto the camera, connect it with the 3.5mm jack, and boom, there you go. Great sounding audio. That's pretty much it. This was a pretty quick video. That's how I do audio. There's thousands and hundreds of ways that you can get good audio with a setup like this. But for me, again, the Sennheiser has really great flexibility, again, with an XLR option and the 3.5mm option that gives you flexibility if you want to upgrade to XLR down the road, or if you want to get the XLR top handle for your camera, you have that function now. Or if you have like a Rodecaster Duo or like a Mixamp or Mix Pre 3 or any of those other different audio mixers, you can now use the microphone with it. But I also recommend having the Rode Wireless Pro system or any other wireless mic system, to be honest. It's just because they come in handy, especially out in the field, not in a studio environment. Clip it to your chest, clip it to your talent, whatever you have to do, and you're pretty much done, especially with that 32-bit float. You don't have to worry about anyone talking too softly or talking too loudly. You can adjust everything in post. And again, it's seamless. They work great. And those are my recommendations. So that's pretty much it. If you found this video helpful in any way, please consider liking the video and subscribing. And until next time, I will talk at you later. Bye.